so you can access it later. So don't worry if you've missed any part of the lecture or you want to revisit part of it again, feel free to check it out. All right, so with that, let's get started with our program today. So today's webinar, we'll be talking about the P.Eng Academy, give you a brief introduction about how we started P.Eng Academy, what's our goal in servicing the candidates for the professional engineering designation in Ontario and other provinces as well. And with that, we'll walk you through the main steps and process in order to become a professional engineer in Ontario. What requirements do you need to satisfy? What steps you need to make? What exams you need to take in? And what documents you need to submit? And answer any question you have regarding that. Following that, we'll be having two mini lectures, Mechanical A1 and Mechanical B2, both presented by Engineer Marwan Tahir, who has a vast experience in teaching both of these courses. And then we'll be happy to answer any question you have regarding the course materials or any other question regarding the process in general. And last but not least, we're happy to provide you with the list of prices and services we provide to help you out. And especially for today's attendees, we'll be providing special discounts that you can benefit from by attending today's webinar. So let's get started. We have a busy schedule, but again, if you have any question throughout the presentation, please post it in the chat and I'll be happy to help you out. Or if you can just raise your hand or interrupt me at any time, I'll be happy to answer you right away. All right, so let's get started with our introduction on the P.Eng Academy. So the P.Eng Academy was founded in 2024 by Mohsen Khalaf, Mohammed Hamouda, and myself. The three of us are professional engineers in the province of Ontario, and we've got our graduate degrees, the PhD degrees in Canada from the University of Waterloo and McGill University. And since we got our degrees from outside of Canada, we had to go through the entire process of becoming a professional engineer. So that means we know firsthand what it takes to become a professional engineer. What do you need to take in terms of courses, qualifications, any requirements required by the PO for candidates who have degrees outside of Canada, especially. So we felt motivated to empower the fellow engineering graduates in their journey to achieve the designation of the professional engineer. So we're here to help you out in the most efficient way to tackle all of these steps by providing comprehensive technical courses in different subjects such as mechanical engineering, which is the focus of the webinars today, but also electrical engineering and civil engineering, by providing expert guidance through the entire application process, really, which could be very lengthy and sometimes intimidating because they have different steps, and the communication with PO can sometimes take long time. So we're proud in providing personalized support and preparing the competencies. So as we'll explain throughout the services we provide, whether technical courses or the CBA or other guidance, we are very proud in providing one-on-one services or very small number of students per course to provide a personalized experience to guide you for your own unique background. And this is something we've seen multiple times, that each applicant has a unique experience and a unique situation. So that's why a general answer in most cases will not be very helpful, because you are a professional engineer, you can look the PO website, but oftentimes you need a more specific answer to your situation. So for that, we're aspiring to help build the community of the professional engineers in Ontario and in Canada, and unlock your full potential and gain this experience, an important step in your professional experience. So what are the main steps to become a professional engineer? And here I'm referring to the steps listed by the PEO, so mainly focusing on the province of Ontario, but the remainder of provinces have similar application requirements, and I'll be happy to answer you if you're from a province outside of Ontario. So there are three main steps. The first one are the eligibility requirements. So essentially be 18 years old and have a bachelor degrees in an engineering program that is at least 4 years in length. So these are the part of the application which we cannot help you with. So you need to be at least 18 years old and have a bachelor degrees or undergraduate degrees, which is at least 4 years old, 4 years in length with an engineering background. So we assume that all of you have met these two eligibility requirements, but why you're here today is to tackle the second and third step. So the second step is the application requirements, which is divided into two main parts, which we'll delve into more details. The first one is the academic requirements. So essentially to demonstrate for the PO that you have met the required competencies from a technical background in different courses. So you are on par with the engineers who got the degrees from Canada or in the US. The second part is the experience requirements. So have 48 of acceptable and verifiable professional engineering experience. And we know that many of you have many years of professional experience inside of Canada and outside of Canada as well. But the PO has a specific process, which is called the CBA, for you to demonstrate these 48 months of acceptable and verifiable experience. So in many cases, if you have gotten a postgraduate degree, such as master's or a PhD, or you have gotten an internship, this could help and this could be counted as part of the 48 months. But there are special requirements which you need to be careful of when filling out the application, so you can demonstrate that you have passed this experience. And last but not least, once you finish this part, you can submit your application, and PO will assess the application within 180 days, and also take the National Professional Practice Exam, or NPPE, which is also required as part of the application. Regarding the NPP, actually, PEO just announced very recently that you can take the NPPE in a different stage of the process. So you don't have to wait to take the exams and then take the NPPE. If you'd like, you can take the NPP at any part of the process, which gives you more flexibility and more control over your application timeline. So where do we help? At P.Eng Academy, we provide core services to help you with the second, and in my opinion, the most important part of the application, which is fulfilling the academic requirements and the experience requirement and the demonstration of your 48 months of engineering experience. So let's go in more detail about these two requirements. So the first one is the academic requirements. So in order to fulfill this requirement, you have to undertake technical exams, which are required by applicants who do not have an undergraduate engineering degree from a university, which is accredited by the Canadian Engineering Accreditation Board. So in short, if you have an undergraduate degree from a country outside of Canada or the US, then you most likely will need to take a technical exam in your subject area. Who determines this? Not you, not us, it's the PEO. Once you submit your initial application, then they will let you know if you need to take the technical exams. If you do need to take the technical exams, then you'll need to take 4 exams. The PEO does not specify in which field or discipline, but we think that it makes more sense to take the exams in your field of experience and expertise. So if you've got your degree from mechanical engineering, then you definitely it's makes more sense and easier for you to take the exams in these categories. So you're required to take 4 exams, which are split into 3 categories. The first category is to take 2 Group A exams from any engineering discipline. So they have Group A and Group B, and from Group A you need to take 2 exams and 1 exam from Group B. So Group A and B will list today which are the exams for the mechanical engineer, but they're essentially, if you're a mechanical engineering background or mechatronics, then you're taking exams within these disciplines. And last but not least, you need to take one more complementary studies, which is a non-technical exam that complement the 3 exams you have taken in your discipline. For all of these, you need to get at least 50% mark in order to pass. There is no difference between a 90% and 60% mark. All you need and care about is passing the exam. However, in P.Eng Academy, we focus on preparing you to be a successful candidate in exam and understand the material so you achieve higher marks than the passing mark. And just as a quick note, the technical exams are shared between provinces and usually administered at the same time with the same format between multiple of them. So, for example, Ontario and British Columbia share the same exam setting. So, if you are taking the licensure outside of Ontario, please consult with us to make sure you are taking the correct courses and the correct technical exams. So I see there's a question, do we need to take the technical exams even though our bachelor's degree is validated by WES? So again, this is a decision and my colleague Mohammed Hamouda will answer the details in the chat for you. But again, this is a decision by the PEO who lets you know if your transcript and degree will match the requirements. So they list specifically that they have different set of requirements, different from the WES, which many candidates have submitted to other institutions like the IRCC, for example, if you're applying for the permanent residency. Sometimes the PO require a different set of validation on their end. So it could be the case that you require technical courses even though it's validated by WES. Okay, so I see a question on the technical experience. So I will leave it until we answer the part of the technical experience, and then we'll get back to it if it needs any further clarification. But does anyone have any question regarding the technical exams so far? Okay. Again, if you have any question at any time, please let us know. All right. So for the exams, there are 2 settings administered annually, and these are the only 2 times you can take the exams throughout the year. So the spring and fall sessions. So for the fall 2025, the exams will begin as early as September 1st. The exact exam schedule has not been released by PO yet, but it will be released soon. But on their website, they mention it will be as early as September 1st. So we don't know yet, but maybe September 1st, maybe October 1st. This is yet to be determined. However, the only strict deadline they have announced is the deadline for the registration for the courses, which is July 18th. So less than 2 weeks to register for the exams. So you really need to make sure if you intend to take the fall 2025 exam session to register by the deadline. So I've listed here in the link and also in the chat and also by the QR code the list of all the exams published by PO which you can undertake during the fall 25 sessions. Sometimes they change from session to session, so it's always good to have an updated knowledge of what exams will be available in this session. So again, please make sure you are reminded of this deadline, regardless of you register with the course with us or not. If you want to take the exams, July 18th is the deadline. Okay, so another question we always get is which courses do we need to take or which courses do you recommend for us to take? So again, it's very difficult and usually not very helpful to provide a general guidance because every one of the applicants we've met before has their own experience and background and courses they have a stronger background in and courses they prefer. But also, we have experience in which courses will be easier to tackle. There are no easy courses, but depending on the set of courses you take, many courses will complement each other. So, for example, I'm electrical engineer by training, so I know when I teach the electrical A1, I usually recommend electrical A2 because many of the subjects in A2 will be taught in A1 as a background. So depending on which courses you want to take, we can provide you our recommendations in which courses are easier and more efficient for your time to study. We also can help you decide how many courses you take. So again, the 4 courses, you are not required to take them all at once. You can take 1 course, 2 course, 3 course as you prefer, and you are the best person to know your schedule and your timeline and how urgent you need to pass the exams and how much free time you need to dedicate for the courses. So depending on the course, depending on your background, depending on when did you get your degree, we also know many of you have taken their degrees maybe 10 years ago, 15 years ago, so they need some refreshers on the undergraduate courses. So maybe 4 courses is not the ideal recommendation, but again, it depends on your specific background. And we'll be more than happy to provide you guidance, again, just for your own benefit, even if you don't register for the courses, we'll be happy to help you with choosing which courses are best for you. All right, so let's go for the second part, which most of it will be your own work. The only requirement you need to do is to demonstrate these 48 months of acceptable and verifiable professional engineering experience. So the PO has its own process, which is called the competency-based assessment or CBE model, which is a questionnaire, a set of questions which you need to answer. And based on your answers, you will demonstrate if you are ready for the licensure as the PO examines your competencies across several categories. So you could have different experience in across multiple projects in different companies and even across multiple disciplines of engineering. So for example, you can have gotten your engineering degree in mechanical engineering and then started working as a mechanical engineer for 4 years and then switched to electrical or any different discipline. But again, PO does not focus on that. PO focus on what sort of engineering experience and competency you gained in this project or in this company or your own work. So again, it's not about the company, it's not about the scope of the project, it's about the actual experience you get in. So all this to say, there is a specific way that PO is looking for your answers in order to demonstrate the 8 months of acceptable experience. We have seen many candidates who have much more experience than 8 months, but because they answered the questions or the CBA in a manner which is not expected by the PO, or the PO expects a different approach to answering these questions, they did not pass the CBA in their first trial. So our help is to navigate you to prove for the PO the best of your experience, to demonstrate and show yourself, show your experience as best as it could be. So again, we can never guarantee that you meet the CBA, but what we can guarantee is that we'll guide you through the best way to prove your experience as you have done. So in that, we provide a one-on-one consultation to guide your unique profile and build your own expertise and experience and when filling out the CBA. So does anyone have any question on the experience requirement? Okay, and again, if you have any questions, please let us know in the chat. All right, so why would you choose a P.Eng Academy? So we are proud to provide services very unique and tailored to your background, especially on the technical exams. So we have recently got our professional engineers, all of the founders of the P.Eng Academy in the last 2 or 3 years. So we're very aware of all the changes and recent updates to their process. So we provide personalized mentorship and support throughout the entire application process. And we also provide multiple workshops and webinars to keep you updated of the latest updates on the PO, such as the NPP change that has been announced very recently. So our goal is to guide you through the process and make it as efficient as it could be, because we know your busy schedule of whether you're looking for a job or actually working in Canada or moving to Canada, it can be a lot to handle at the same time. So our goal is to make this process as smooth as possible. So for our teaching courses, we're proud to build on our experience in teaching graduate courses, undergrad courses, and providing practical teaching approach that is tailored for professional engineers, specifically for the P.Eng license application. So we have built our own courses from scratch based on the syllabus and the references provided PO, specifically tailored to the exams, because it could be the case you find similar courses online, but it can cover more or less depending on the exact course. So we are aiming to provide you with practical teaching experience to pass the exams while also understanding the subjects to be confident while undertaking exams. So to do so, we focus on previous exams. So in the course, we provide you with the full list of previous exams from the PO, the official exams, all solved, so you can practice and gain confidence and experience while solving the previous exams. For our courses, it is a minimum of 24 teaching hours, which in our experience is more than enough to guide you by going through all of the syllabus of the course and also solving previous exams and having answer any questions you have. Our study groups are a maximum of 6 students to ensure each and every applicant is engaged with the instructor for a positive teaching experience. So we would be positive that you understand what the instructor is explaining in the course. For the study materials, as I mentioned, we build our courses from the PO syllabus exclusively and uniquely tailored for this course and for this exam. So we also provide access to recorded lectures on Zoom and the set of exams and solutions to the previous exams, so I can practice on them in addition to the lecture time. So for the 2025, the P.Eng Academy offers a exhaustive list of courses. So these are the courses that we offer. Again, the list of the PO exams is often longer than this, but these are the courses we feel the exams could be more effective in the teaching that we have. So for the mechanical engineering, we have 4 courses: applied thermodynamics and heat transfer, kinematics and dynamics of machines, system analysis and control, environmental control in buildings. So you can see we provide 3 courses from the A category, A1, A2, A3, from which you need to choose only 2. So only 2 from the first 3. And then for the B2, we provide the environmental control in buildings, which from our experience would be the best choice for the B2. Again, you can have a different opinion based on your experience, but from our experience teaching the courses multiple times, the environmental control in buildings is the best option for the B2 category. We also have 5 courses in the mechatronics engineering. We have 4 courses from the A category and 1 course from the B category. And last but not least, for the complementary studies, which is for all majors, we offer engineering economics or CS1 for all of the disciplines. So whether you're electrical, mechanical, or mechatronics, you can take the CS1 as your complementary study course. Does anyone have any questions so far? Okay, so now we can move on to the next part of our lecture. We will begin by the mini lecture on mechanical A1. Will be taught by engineer Marwan Al-Tahir, who has a bachelor's degree and master's degree in mechanical engineering, and he has vast experience, hands-on experience in teaching mechanical A1, mechanical A2, and mechanical B2 for the professional engineering degrees and designation. So he has taught before the courses, and will be happy to answer any question you have after the lecture. So Marwan, you can take it away and share your screen.
Thank you, Angel Abdurrahman. Now, let's introduce myself. I'm Marwan Tahir. I am very happy, and it's from my pleasure to teach you or to be your instructor in A1 and B2 courses. Let's talk about A1 course. A1 is Applied Thermodynamics and Heat Transfer course. Course content is content of review of thermodynamic fundamental, compressor performance analysis, power production and consumption cycles. Then part two of course is talking about introduction to heat transfer basics and heat transfer by conduction, convection, and radiation modes. Finally, heat exchanger design. The total estimated course duration is about 24 hours, one session per week. Last exams format were 3 hours open book exam. Consists of two parts, part A and part B. Part A is consists of 4 thermodynamics problems, and part B 4 heat transfer problems. To pass the exam or to full question or full answer the exam, you have to solve 5 problems, 3 from part A plus 2 from part B, or vice versa. And there are the reference textbooks. So we use it as our reference book in our course. In B2 Environmental Control and Building course, the course content consists of introduction to HVAC system, moisture air properties, cooling, heat and load estimation, duct sizing and energy calculation, piping design, and heat exchanger design and refrigeration cycles. As we see, heat exchanger design here is a common subject between the two courses A1 and B2. As Angel Abdurrahman said, there's common subjects between courses that make it easier to take it with each other. The exam format was 3 hours exam, closed book, consists of two parts, part A and part B. For part A, you have to solve 4 of 5 problems, and part B, you have to solve 2 of 3 theoretical questions. The total estimated duration for course is 24 hours, one session per week, as same for A1 course. And there is the references textbooks are recommended by PEO. So let's begin. We need to talk about HVAC systems and why we teach the HVAC system. First, what does HVAC stands for? HVAC, heating, ventilation, and air conditioning systems. It consists of a simple heat pump and refrigeration cycle, as we see. Each port in the cycle has a function, so we can talk about these functions. Evaporator is acting as a heat exchanger that receives the heat energy from the surrounding to inside the cycle. Then compressor responds for increasing the working fluid pressure and temperature to meet a condenser pressure. Then Condenser, another heat exchanger that emits the heat energy to heat sink or the surrounding. Finally, expansion valve is a way to decrease the pressure of working fluid to evaporator pressure once again to complete the cycle and repeat the cycle once again. So we can talk about cycle analysis. We use first law of thermodynamics that said Q or sigma Q, that means the total heat energy into the system minus the total power out of the system equal m dot multiply delta H. Delta H, it means the change in enthalpy energy, and m dot is the mass flow rate of refrigerant or working fluid of the cycle. So in first part, as evaporator, we don't have any power in or out in this part. So we can simplify the law into this way: Q law, or the heat energy entered to evaporator, equal m dot, that means the mass flow rate of working fluid, multiply H1 minus H4. H1 is refers to specific enthalpy for point 1, or the exit point of evaporator, minus H4, that means the specific enthalpy energy at evaporator entrance. Then we can talk about compressor. Compressor here, there is no Q in theoretical way or theoretical case. No heat transfer between working fluid through compressor and the surround. So only we have input power, and that equal m dot multiply H2 minus H1. H2 is referring to the exit point of compressor. And in theoretical case, S2 equal S1 for asymptotic compression process. In condenser, we can apply first law as same as evaporator, as its heat exchanger has Q out, or heat transfer out from it, equal m dot multiply H2 minus H3. As we see, H2 is refers to exit point of the compressor and the entrance point of condenser, and H3 is referring to outlet point of condenser. Finally, for expansion valve, there is no heat transfer, there is no input or output power, so H3 can be equal H4, and H4 is referring to the last point in our cycle that refers to input point for evaporator. All of this enthalpy energy can be obtained from pH diagram, as we see. This pH diagram for R134A for refrigerant or specific refrigerant. Each refrigerant has its pH diagram. So this example for pH diagram for R134A refrigerant. Lastly, cycle performance can be summarized into these three lines. Q high, it means the energy or heat energy emitted from condenser is equal to Q low, or the heat energy enters the cycle through evaporator, plus power input into compressor. So COP, it refers to cycle or a coefficient of performance of refrigerant cycle equal gain over supply. For this cycle or for refrigerant cycle, gain here is equal the heat energy carried from surrounding to or from space to evaporator, and the supply here is the power input through compressor. But in heat pump, the gain is differing. How? Because in heat pump, I have a benefit from the heat energy output from condenser. So gain here is equal Q high over work in. For the same cycle at the same condition, COP can for heat pump is equal to COP for refrigerant cycle plus 1. So take an example from previous exams. For example, this example from exam December 2016, problem 4. On a particular day when the outside temperature is 4 degrees Celsius, a house requires a heat transfer rate of 16 kilowatt to maintain the inside temperature of 20 degrees Celsius. A vapor compression heat pump with refrigerant R22 as working fluid is used to provide the necessary heating. Specify the approach, vibrator, and condenser pressure of the cycle for this purpose. Let the refrigerant be saturated vapor at evaporator exit and saturated liquid at condenser exit. So he needs to calculate the mass flow of refrigerant in kilogram per minute, the compressor power in kilowatt, and the coefficient of performance COP of the cycle. So from the given data, we can conclude that working fluid is R22, T evaporator is equal T1 and equal T4 equal 4 degrees Celsius, and T condenser is equal to 3 equal to condenser temperature of 20 degree Celsius. So to solve this problem, we have to get all enthalpy, specific enthalpy energy for all points. First, for point 1, H1 equal Hg at T1. Hg, it refers to specific enthalpy for saturated vapor point at T1 or T evaporator is equal to 466.4 kilojoule per kilogram. And S1 is a specific entropy for T1 at T1, so it equal 1.745 kilojoule per kilogram dot Kelvin. For point 3, as he said that the point of exit of condenser is saturated liquid at the pressure of or temperature of condenser. So B3 is equal pressure saturation pressure at T3 equal 910.3 kilopascal, and H3 equal HF at T3, and HF is referring to the specific enthalpy at saturated as a saturated liquid point at T3. So it equal to 124.2 kilojoule per kilogram. Finally, H4 equal H3 because is an expansion valve. There is no heat transfer or input or output energy. So the enthalpy before and after the expansion valve is the same. The last point is for point 2. Specific enthalpy at point 2 is equal the enthalpy at pressure equal B3 as the pressure after compressor and through condenser final to the input of expansion valve is the high pressure of the cycle and equal the condenser pressure that equal B3, and the entropy for isentropic compression process through compressor is giving the S2 equal S1, so we can obtain H for H2 equal 417.9 kilojoule per kilogram. To calculate the mass flow rate, we can use the first law, simple first law for condenser. Q dot condenser equal M dot refrigerant multiply H2 minus H3. So the condenser heat is equal 16 kilowatt as the given data, equal m dot refrigerant multiply H2 minus H3. So m dot refrigerant equal 4.955 kilogram per minute. Uh, for computing input power in compressor, work dot compressor equal m dot refrigerant multiply H2 minus H1. So we can calculate it with uh, first law of thermodynamics to get the input power equal 0.9469 kilowatt. Finally, the COP for heat pump is equal Q dot condenser over work dot compressor equal 16 over 0.9469 equal 16.9. Thank you for your listening, and I'm happy to listen to your questions. Any questions?
Okay, thank you very much, Marwan, for this introduction of the courses. Let me share back my screen. Okay, yeah, so as you have surely seen the lectures, it covers different topics, but again, our main focus is to tailor the exam, the course content based on the exam questions that we have seen before. So it could be the case that you don't fully remember all of the details that the instructor is talking about, but I'm sure in the course itself, you will have the time to go over all the details that equip you to answer the questions. So again, if you have any questions, Marwan will stay with us until the end of the lecture. So if you have any questions, technical questions for them, please go ahead and ask in the chat. All right, so now we move on to the last part of the webinar, which is the services that we provide and the prices. So for the fall 2025 session, we offer a package of courses on different structures based on your preference and your needs. So if you'd like to take the 4 technical courses all at once, the price will be 2,700 Canadian dollars for all the 4 courses. However, if you decide to take 1, 2, or 3 courses, it's going to be $750 per course. So of course, this fee covers the lectures, the access to the exams, and office hours as needed with the instructor to guarantee your deep understanding of the material and your readiness for the exam. As we mentioned also, we provide the CBA consultation. This is for the second requirement of the application process. If you decide to take the CBA only, so we can guide you through the process by helping you answer the questions of the questionnaires, it's going to be $300 for the CBA. But if you take the CBA plus the 4 courses package, it's going to be $29 and $50 for the 4 courses and the CBA. And last but not least, if you have any general question, then also provide a general consultation to answer any question you have regarding the entire process, whether or not you take any course with us or any service with us. We'll be happy to guide you on. So these are the prices for the fall 2025 session, but we're also happy to provide a special discount for today's attendees, which is valid only until tomorrow. So the special discount is the 4 technical courses will be 2,400 instead of 2,700, and 1 course or 3 courses or 2 courses will be $650. The 4 courses plus reviewing the CBA will be $2,650. The reviewing the CBA will be $255 instead of $300. And as a special bonus discount for our attendees today, the consultation will be free for 30 minutes if you get in touch with us by tomorrow. So if you have any questions that we have discussed in the webinar or any additional questions you have on the process, we'll be happy to have a chat with you for free to answer your questions. Even if you don't take any of the technical courses or the CBA consultation, we'll be happy to help you out as you need. And also, we're happy to provide a free CBA consultation if you're taking the 4 courses. So if you take the 4 courses with us, you'll be for free. So we've provided here the QR code for our website to register, and we'll also post in the chat the links to get in touch with us or to register for the courses. So with that, this was the end of our presentation, but we're more than happy to have a Q&A session to answer any questions you have in general or regarding any of the materials we presented today. So I see a question in the chat about the statistics for success rate. I'm not sure if you're referring to the success rate of the PEO themselves, how many candidates pass their exams, or how many of our students pass the exams. So for the first part, PEO does not publish, as far as I'm aware, any statistics on how many candidates pass. They're keeping a more secretive process for some reason, but they don't publish any statistics on that. But we can talk about our students, which in many courses reach up to 100% of success rate. We also have multiple courses which have 85 and 90% success rate of students taking the courses and then passing the exam. And for anyone who does register for the exam, who doesn't take a course, we guarantee that we'll be supporting you until you pass the exam. So all the materials and the sessions and exams you will have access to, so you can revisit them, and will help you make the strategy again for re-passing or re-entering the exam the second time. And by the way, speaking of that, you are allowed to take the exams as many times as you'd like. So there is no cap or there is no limit on how many times you can take any specific exam. And if you take one exam with the PO and you decide you don't like it or to take another one, you're also free to switch the exam in a second session. So the mentioned cost does not include the exam fees. So the exam fees are to be paid when you register with the PO directly. So again, the deadline is July 18th. And when you register on the website for the PO with your application, this is when you pay for the exam fees, which is separate from our course fees. So the success rate of past students, as I mentioned, it depends on the course. We have multiple courses, at least 3 in the top of my mind, with 100% success rate. We have other courses with success rate of 90% and 85%. Okay, so do you need to take all 4 exams on the same period? No, again, so you can take as many as you need. So 1, 2, 3, or 4, depending on how well you remember your background or your undergraduate courses. Then we can sit with you and talk strategy, depending on your schedule, your experience, and your choice of exams, whether it's better to take 2 courses at the same time, 3, or maybe go ahead with the 4 courses at the same time. We've had students who did both of these choices. So we have students who have taken the 4 courses at the same time, and they have passed all the 4 courses at the same times. And we also had students who take 2 courses and then 1 course and 1 course. Usually some courses could be easier than others. So for example, the complementary studies, you can very definitely take it along with another technical course. But depending on the course, we can provide a more tailored answer to your specific case. So do you take any mock exams the same way as PO for preparations? So again, in our experience, we can never guarantee how what will be the format of the next exam, because this is part of the PO process. We have no control over this. But from our experience, if you've taken a look at the previous exams as we have done, you can see the pattern in the exams. So once you see the pattern and understand it, then you can get practice on solving these questions specifically. And that's a major component of our course teaching. So in every single lecture, we answer at least one exam question that is related to the part of the question of the course that we teach. So we provide the full exam list and the solutions to this exam list, so you can practice on them and check your answers to make sure you're confident for the exam session. So regarding the exam schedule, I mean, the exam schedule for the spring 2025, it is public. You can check it online. We can also share it with you, but there's no guarantee how this will relate to the fall 2025 session. So unfortunately, we have to be prepared. And this is our plan, is to start the courses within the second week of July, so you are ready for the exams if the PO decides to have the exams on the first week of September, because this is what they have advised. The exams could be as early as September 1st. They usually provide the full schedule, I would say about a month before the 1st of September. So within a month, we'll know the exact schedule for the next session. Okay, so yes, the recording will be shared with you. So if you have missed any part of the webinar, you can see it again. We will share the recording with you. Yes. Okay. I think I've answered all of the questions I can see in the chat. Oh yeah, so what will be the class schedule? So this is a very good question. So once we have all the students' registrations, which is we have 80% of them by now, we will send out a questionnaire for the students to discuss the best times for you to schedule the course times during the week. We will begin in the second week of July. We'll begin early, so we are prepared in case the exams take place on the first week of September. And we will adjust the course schedule accordingly, but the exact class schedule for your chosen course will be communicated with you within a week once you register for the course. All right, is there any other questions I haven't answered, or I have missed in the chat, or we haven't answered? Okay, if that's it, then oh, there's one more. Is there a donation? Is there a duration before which I need to pass all exams? No. You just have to keep attempting at your own schedule. You usually communicate with the PO what exams you'll take, and they will let you know. As long as your application is maintained, then you can take the exams at different schedules. So you don't have to take them all in one session or even in consecutive sessions. So if you want to take 2 courses now and then take a break and then one after, you're allowed to do so, no problems at all. You can take it as many times as you need. There's no restrictions. However, our recommendation is, although we know and understand how busy you can get in your work or social work, once you get in the mood of studying for the exams, it's better to get finished with them within a year or a year and a half. This is our advice. Don't try to prolong it more than that, because it will just be a toll on you on your schedule as well. Okay. Any last questions? All right. So again, if you have any questions, here are our contact info. We'll be happy to answer your questions regarding the technical courses, the technical experience requirements, or any other question related to the P.Eng process in general. So with that, we wish you the best, and thanks for attending today, and we wish you a successful P.Eng journey. Thank you.
Thank you. Have a good one.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you all. Have a good rest of the day.
Thanks.